Imagine waking up on a peaceful Sunday morning in a quiet mountain town. The sun is shining. Children are playing outside. Farmers are preparing for another ordinary day. Then, without warning, the ground begins to roar, not shake. Roar. Within minutes, an entire mountain collapses. Villages disappear beneath rivers of earth. Thousands of people vanish forever. This is the forgotten story of the 1949 Khait earthquake, one of the deadliest landslide disasters in human history. In July 1949, the village of Khait lay deep within the mountains of what is now Tajikistan, then part of the Soviet Union. Life was simple. Families lived in mud brick homes. They farmed wheat and kept livestock. The mountains surrounding the valley had stood for thousands of years. Few imagined those same mountains could become weapons. But nature had already begun giving subtle warnings. On July 8th, two moderate earthquakes struck the region just minutes apart. They frightened residents, but caused little damage. Many assumed the danger had passed. They were wrong. At 9:45 in the morning on July 10, 1949, the earth exploded beneath the valley. A powerful magnitude 7.5 earthquake ripped through the mountains. Homes collapsed instantly. People were thrown to the ground. But the shaking itself was only the beginning. The violent tremors loosened enormous slopes made of loose soil and rock. Entire mountainsides broke apart. Instead of falling like ordinary landslides, they flowed like rivers. Walls of earth raced down the valleys at terrifying speed, carrying rocks, trees, houses, and everything in their path. One of the largest landslides crashed directly into the town of Khait. Witnesses described a massive cloud of dust rising into the sky. When it settled, the town was gone. Some sections were buried beneath tens of meters of earth. Nearby villages suffered the same fate. In the Yasmin Valley, giant flows of loose soil swept through settlement after settlement. People had almost no chance to escape. Entire families disappeared within seconds. Some villages were erased so completely that rescue teams could not even determine where streets or homes had once stood. Reaching the disaster zone proved almost impossible. Roads had vanished. Bridges had collapsed. The mountains remained unstable, and aftershocks continued to trigger new landslides. Soviet rescue teams struggled to reach survivors. In many places, there was nothing left to rescue. Communication was limited, and because the Soviet Union tightly controlled information, the full scale of the tragedy remained largely unknown outside the country for decades. Many details only became widely known after the collapse of the Soviet Union. The exact death toll has never been known. Early reports varied wildly. Some estimates exceeded 20,000 deaths. Modern geological studies suggest that around 7,200 people were killed, making it one of the deadliest earthquake-triggered landslide disasters ever recorded. More than 30 villages were destroyed or buried beneath mountains of debris. For many families, there were no graves, only silence beneath the earth. Today, the mountains around Khait appear peaceful once again. Grass grows where villages once stood. Visitors might never realize that entire communities lie buried beneath the landscape. The Khait earthquake reminds us that earthquakes do not always kill through collapsing buildings. Sometimes, the greatest danger comes from the mountains themselves. A single earthquake can move an entire mountain, and in just a few terrifying minutes, erase a town from history. If you enjoy true stories of history's forgotten disasters, don't forget to subscribe, because sometimes the most unbelievable stories are the ones that really happened.